All right, let's dive into this paper everyone's talking about, the surprising effectiveness of test time training for abstract reasoning.
Sounds intriguing.
It really is.
Yeah.
We're looking at how we can push language models, those powerful AI systems,
Yeah.
to tackle really complex reasoning, specifically abstract reasoning.
Extractories,
Yeah.
yeah.
Think of it like those brain-bending puzzles, visual puzzles, where you have to, like, figure out the rules.
Oh, I see. Like you're given a few examples and you got to kind of extrapolate.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
And so what's so fascinating about this paper is it tackles this challenge of getting language models, which we'll call
LLMs.
to solve problems that they haven't been specifically trained for.
Right. Like traditionally LLMs, they're great at tasks that they've seen before,
Right.
but novel situations, new problems, that's where they struggle.
Exactly. It's like they're amazing at following instructions,
Mm-hmm.
but not so good at thinking outside the box.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
So this is where test time training, or TTT, comes in.
TTT.
And the researchers, they use a set of visual reasoning puzzles
Okay.
called the Abstraction and Reasoning Corpus, or ARC,
ARC.
to
Okay.
test their approach.
Got it. And I've heard ARC, it's notorious for being pretty tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even for humans
Yeah,
to figure these things out.
for sure.
And I think that's what makes this so interesting.
Right.
But, the title mentions the surprising effectiveness of TTT.
The surprising effectiveness.
What was so unexpected about it?
Well, I think for a long time people thought that only symbolic AI, which uses those explicit rules and logic,
Right.
could really crack abstract reasoning.
Like if-then statements.
Yeah, very structured, very, very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And what TTT does is it challenges that notion.
Okay.
It's showing that LLMs, which learn more organically, through exposure to tons of data, can also get to this high-level reasoning.
So it's like TTT is blurring these lines between these two approaches to AI. Absolutely.
The rule-based systems and the data-driven models.
Yeah. It's a really interesting development.
Yeah, it's very cool. So how does TTT actually work?
All right, let's break it down.
Yeah, what are the key ingredients here?
So they found 3 crucial elements that make TTT successful. And it's really cool because they kind of mirror how humans learn.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So first you have pre-training.
Okay.
Just like, we need some basic understanding of a subject
Right.
before we tackle those advanced problems,
Right.
LLMs. They also need to be trained
Okay.
on tasks that are similar to what they're going to see during testing.
Got it.
Gives them a broad understanding of language and concepts.
This is like building that mental framework.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
All right, so next you have what they call practice problems.
Practice problems.
So you're generating a bunch of mini tasks
Okay.
that are derived from the actual problem you want the LLM to solve.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like giving a student practice questions
Okay.
to help them grasp those underlying concepts.
So it's not just memorizing the solution.
Right.
It's learning how to approach it.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
And then the third element, and this is where it gets really cool, is individualized tutoring.
Individualized tutoring. Okay.
So each practice problem, they pair it up with some temporary adjustments
Oh,
to the LLM's parameters.
Interesting.
So it's essentially personalizing that learning process for each mini task.
So it's like a tutor who tailors their teaching
Exactly.
to the student.
Yeah, to their needs.
I like it.
And so you put these 3 elements together,
Okay.
you create this really powerful learning experience for the LLM.
So the LLM is prepped with that background knowledge. It gets to practice on similar problems.
Yeah.
And then it even receives that personalized feedback.
It's like a comprehensive training regimen.
Right.
And the results were really impressive.
Okay, so tell me, how impressive are we talking?
Well, they found that TTT boosted accuracy sometimes by as much as 6 times
6 times.
compared to just fine-tuning.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I thought was really interesting is that they found making the LLM practice with problems that are similar to the test
Okay.
was critical. So it wasn't just about mapping inputs to outputs, it's about understanding that underlying logic.
Right. So it's like, it's not just memorizing the patterns.
Which is-
It's really understanding the why.
Yeah, it's a key difference.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, okay, the LLM has gone through this rigorous training.
Right.
Hopefully it picked up some strategies, but how does it actually make the prediction on the test?
Okay, so they do this really clever thing with what they call transformations.
Transformation.
So imagine like you have the same puzzle,
Okay.
but you rotate it
Okay.
where you flip it or you change the colors.
Okay.
And the LLM, it solves multiple versions of this transformed puzzle.
Good.
And then they use a voting system to select the most consistent answer.
So it's like getting a second opinion.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
a third or fourth, you know,
Okay.
just to make sure it's really solid.
Right, you're getting multiple perspectives.
Right.
And that prevents the LLM from just getting fixated on one specific way of seeing the problem.
It's forcing it to think more broadly.
Exactly, and that's where TTT really shines.
Okay.
It's allowing LLMs to consider diverse perspectives, just like humans do,
I like it.
when they're solving tough problems.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's how it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
But now, let's look at what this means.
Okay.
In the real world, how is TTT going to shake things up in business?
Yeah, we'll dive into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before we jump into the business applications, let's actually look at like how TTT performed.
Okay, yeah, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, on those ARC puzzles.
Right, how well did it actually do?
Yeah, so they experimented with like different sizes of LLMs, like from 1 billion to 8 billion parameters.
Okay.
And as you might expect, like the bigger models,
Right,
they generally did better, like initially.
Sure.
But what's really remarkable is TTT boosted the performance across all the model sizes.
Oh, interesting.
So even those smaller LLMs
Right.
can become like pretty powerful problem solvers.
That's cool. So it's not just limited to these massive
Yeah.
models that only, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It democratizes access to this tech a little bit.
So how much are we talking, like what kind of performance boost?
Okay, so in some cases it was pretty dramatic.
Okay.
For example, TTT improved the accuracy of a 1 billion parameter model
Okay.
by up to 6 times
6 times. Wow, that's a lot.
compared to traditional fine-tuning.
Wow. Okay.
And even with the 8 billion parameter model,
Okay.
TTT increased accuracy by like almost 25%,
Okay.
reaching 53% accuracy
53. Wow, that's pretty good.
on the ARC public validation set.
Yeah, especially when you consider like average human score is around 60.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it seems like AI is really
Closing the gap.
Yeah.
And to put it into perspective,
okay.
that 53% accuracy is the highest score any purely neural network-based approach has achieved on ARC.
Wow, okay.
At least that's been publicly reported.
All right. So this kind of brings up the question of how does TTT compare to other approaches?
Yeah.
You know, especially those symbolic AI with those explicit rules.
Right.
You know, there was that thought that symbolic AI was the only way to really get that true abstract reasoning.
Right, right. And it's a great question. And it does challenge that assumption.
Yeah.
So they compared their TTT enhanced LLM
Okay.
to a state-of-the-art system called BARC,
Oh,
which combines neural networks and program synthesis,
okay.
a technique used in symbolic AI.
Okay.
So they applied the same TTT pipeline to
Oh,
this hybrid BRD system,
Okay.
and they achieved even higher accuracy, over 61%.
Wow. Okay. So TTT is not just boosting performance of those purely neural networks, but it's also helping these hybrid systems.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's really tapping into something fundamental
Right.
about how these models learn and adapt.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, but let's be real. I mean, we can't just apply TTT to any LLM
Yeah.
and expect it to magically solve everything.
Yeah, what are the drawbacks?
But exactly.
What are the limitations?
Yeah. What are the researchers?
So one of the main ones is computational cost.
Okay.
You know, applying TTT, especially to those larger language models,
Right.
it can be computationally expensive.
Okay. So this isn't something I can run on my laptop at home.
Probably not yet.
Okay.
But, you know, as hardware improves
Right.
and as training techniques get more efficient,
Right.
this will probably become less of an issue.
Yeah. Technology marches on.
Exactly.
What about any other limitations? The
Another concern they noted was data leakage.
data leakage. Okay.
So the ARC dataset, it's been out there for a while.
Right.
So there's a chance that those LLMs might have already seen some of these ARC tasks.
Oh, like during their initial training?
Exactly.
So it's like they've maybe seen the test questions before.
Yeah, it could be like a little bit of an unfair advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
But to address that, they carefully evaluated the LLMs
Okay.
on tasks that were highly unlikely to have been seen during their initial training.
Okay.
And even in these cases, TTT still showed
All right.
significant improvements.
So it's not just that they were,
Right.
you know, they had seen it before.
It's actually enhancing their reasoning.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But, we can't expect TTT to be applied to any LLM and just
Right.
magically make it a
Right.
genius.
Are there certain types of tasks
Yeah,
where
exactly.
TTT might be more or less effective?
So they acknowledge that TTT is likely to be most effective when the LLM already has some relevant knowledge or
Sure. So it's not about
skills.
like creating intelligence from nothing.
It's about refining what's already there.
It's like helping them adapt their existing knowledge
Yeah,
to
exactly.
tackle new problems.
It's like, giving a skilled artisan
Okay.
a new set of tools and
I
techniques.
like that.
And now they can apply their expertise
Right.
in these new ways.
Yeah, I like that analogy a lot.
And, they focused on visual reasoning
Right.
with this ARC data
Well, it's
set.
puzzles, yeah.
Yeah, but could TTT be applied to other types of abstract reasoning?
Yeah, I mean, you could imagine, I don't know,
Yeah,
legal arguments
absolutely.
or financial data.
Yeah, financial forecasting,
Yeah.
risk assessment.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities.
Right. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
When we start to talk about how TTT, combined with other AI,
Okay.
could really change the business world.
Okay, so give me some real-world examples.
Yeah, let's dive into that.
Okay, so we were talking about how TTT could change the business world.
Yeah, the potential it's really vast.
Yeah, give me some examples.
Okay, so let's start with like marketing.
Okay.
Imagine a company is launching a new product
Right.
and they need to create like a super targeted ad campaign.
Right.
Traditionally, this involves, tons of market research,
Yeah.
data analysis, brainstorming.
Right. Focus groups, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with TTT, we could,
Yeah.
train an LLM to analyze massive amounts of customer data
Okay.
and pinpoint like those subtle patterns, those
Yeah.
preferences,
Yeah.
and then generate personalized ads.
So no more just like generic ads that everybody sees.
Exactly. It's all about personalization.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tailored to each individual consumer.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the message.
Okay.
TTT could also help optimize ad delivery.
So making sure it gets to the right people
Yeah, right time, right platform.
at the right time. Yeah.
So you're maximizing that.
Efficiency.
Exactly, without wasting resources.
That's cool.
But it doesn't stop there. Think about customer service.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine AI-powered chatbots
Mm-hmm.
that can handle complex questions, troubleshoot tech issues,
Yeah.
offer product recommendations.
That are personalized.
Yeah, all while learning and adapting to each customer
Wow.
in real time.
So it's like having a really good customer service rep
Yeah, like it's super
who
sick.
remembers everything you've talked about.
Exactly, and your preferences.
Wow.
It really changes the game for providing that
Yeah.
customer experience.
Yeah.
And then there's finance.
Oh, yeah. Finance, big one.
Huge potential in areas like financial forecasting,
Right.
risk assessment,
Yeah.
fraud detection.
Okay.
You could train LLMs
Yeah.
to analyze all this financial data,
Right.
find anomalies,
Okay.
predict market trends,
Right.
assess risks
Okay.
with incredible accuracy.
So AI is helping businesses make really, really important decisions.
Yeah, data-driven decisions
Yeah.
to minimize risk,
Right.
maximize profits.
Okay.
But it's not just about number crunching.
Okay.
TTT could help businesses come up with new products and services.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine an LLM trained on like this massive database
Oh,
of
it's okay.
patents, scientific papers,
Okay.
market trends.
So it's looking at everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
This AI could generate completely new ideas,
Well, okay.
identify areas for research and development.
It's helping like the whole process.
Yeah,
What about it?
from idea to actually
Yeah.
making it a reality.
Yeah, that's really fun.
So, it could really unleash a wave of creativity,
Yeah.
innovation.
But what about the human element?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, if AI is so smart,
hmm
is it going to replace us?
Well, I think the future of work is not about replacement.
Okay.
It's about collaboration.
So we'll be working together.
Yeah, humans and AI.
Uh-huh.
TTT and other AI advancements,
Right.
these are tools that empower us.
Okay, yeah.
They don't eliminate us.
Okay.
So imagine experts working alongside AI systems.
So the AI is doing like
Yeah, those routine tasks.
Yeah.
Analyzing the data, offering insights.
Okay.
And that frees up humans to really focus on,
the more strategic stuff.
yeah, that higher level thinking, problem solving, the innovation.
So it's a partnership.
Exactly, a powerful synergy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a really interesting look at
Yeah.
test time training.
It's a fascinating area.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And I think, what's really exciting is that it's not just some abstract concept.
Right.
It has the potential to really change,
Hmm.
how we work,
Absolutely.
how businesses operate.
Across industries.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what people come up with.
Yeah, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah. And what about you, dear listener? What are you most excited about? How do you see TTT changing your industry or even your own career? Keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, keep diving deep.